You got lines? Okay. Good. It's fine. Probably picking up the microphone on your Bluetooth headphones now. All right. All right, you ready to roll? Okay. DDG episode 264. My name is Dave, and I'm joined by Michael. On your end, I'm just sitting here playing a mobile game, waiting for you to yeah. Sounds like a user error. So. All right, so we are Digital Days Gaming. We are a podcast that posts about every other week. You can watch us on twitch.tv/Digital Days Gaming, or you can watch us on youtube.com/ um, /Digital Days Gaming. And yeah, well, no, I've got audio technician telling me that I'm like my volume is low or something. So, and she's like saying that we're quiet in general. So let me see what I can do here. I don't want it to peak or spike or anything like that, but we'll have to just deal with that. And I just turned you down, so I'm going to do some live adjusting while we're recording, so everybody's going to have to bear with me for a second or two. All right. So like I said, you can watch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Digital Days Gaming, youtube.com/Digital Days Gaming. You can go to digitaldaysgaming.com and subscribe to the podcast feed, however you listen to the podcast. You can join our Discord server and hang out with some people and talk about some stuff when there's actually good stuff to talk about. You can, yeah, yep, yeah. So, social media in general following right now is kind of weird. I'm waiting for somebody to make something that's going to be like the. I heard MySpace might come back, so maybe we'll just try to get in front of that. So. I just could be anything in general. There'll be something new that will be like, what is this thing? And then we're like, oh, we missed again. So hopefully we don't miss. But if you listen to the show in any way, shape, or form, please, always send us feedback, send us questions, review us if possible. Tell a friend, tell somebody, so we can get some new people and grow the community, and hopefully like something decent comes out that people want to play that's actually fun. Like, I don't know, I know there's a lot of just mid games out there right now, so it's a really 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 weird time in gaming. So just in general. Um Yep, and Angela's really bothering me with randomness. All right, so we're gonna kick right into the news. Yep. They're like, "Hey, Ocarina of Time." That's all they say, and then they walk away. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta dig into it a little bit more. Angela didn't like it, so I stopped watching it. So, but when she starts going back to school and I have stuff that I need, or she goes back to school slash work, I'll have stuff that I'll have time to watch, and I need to dig back into that. I also think that Asha is doing the non gamer part of this. Excuse me for a second. She's gonna she's doing the part that I guess some people were worried about. Like she's like, oh, like how can somebody that doesn't know gaming, talk about or make business decisions on gaming? But she's using the reality or what she's hearing, or maybe wrongfully paying too much attention to social media, but there's still some validity. So what's on social media? To where, to your point, she's like, okay, like TV and TV influence video games influences TV, it's media, and to like you were saying, like, hey, we've got something that people are waiting for or is streamed a whole bunch, and you guys are kind of just like what appears to be like sitting on it. So like, what are we doing? So I think that that's super interesting. A lot of people are like, why do they keep talking? Why do they keep talking? Why do they keep talking? There's two sides of this coin, and I mean I could be wrong. But I don't really think I am. So looking at the Sony side of it, from the entire Sony corporation side, for years we've heard about PlayStation being the most successful branch of the Sony corporation, correct? And it still is the most successful branch. So if anybody's going to be able to swing and miss, sometimes close studios, cancel games, it's going to be your breadwinner. You're going to look away and be like, okay, well, yeah, we had the Concord debacle, but look how many consoles we sold. Look at how much of this we sold. And then the reverse of the coin now is you're looking at Microsoft. And again, I don't know the exact data, but I would almost probably say that Xbox gaming, or whatever you want to call it, the Xbox branch of this Microsoft mega corporation, is probably below average, if not near the bottom of their sub companies arms. Right. So now you have board members that you have to answer to, and she's taking over a role. Contrary to popular belief, as many times as we've been talking about Asha Sharma, she's only been in role like 130 days. Like it's not even yeah. She just finished her first 100 days at Xbox. Microsoft just finished their fiscal year. They have to, as a publicly traded company and a top 5 company in the world, they have to talk about what they're going to do. They don't need to talk about Windows. They don't need to talk about Adobe or whatever it is. That's successful. That's doing what it's supposed to be doing. This is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. This is what the board members are asking about. She has to produce answers. And in order for her to produce answers, these other sub companies within Xbox, i.e. Bethesda, have to give her answers. Like, right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now, don't get it twisted. The acquisitions are done. Those are gone. Like those aren't like I'm sure there's still some bills to be paid, but they're not classified as return on investment. You're just talking about July of 2025. or I'm sorry, August of 2025 to July of 2026, or June to, like, yeah, it's a 365-day budget. Like, so this is why Phil Spencer's not in a role anymore. This is why she's in role. Is she the right person? I don't know. We're only 120 days in. When I change stores, it takes like 6 months for me to even feel like I have any traction, minimally. So, and I'm not running. A multi-billion-dollar thing. Yeah. 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 And then she's like, "Get me on a plane to Virginia now." Yeah. Yeah. And then she's taking their smaller things, like the remake of New Vegas and Fallout 3, and smaller in air quotes, like these, like it's smaller than making a Fallout 5, it's smaller than making Elder Scrolls 6, um and saying, okay, you did it, great, awesome, fantastic, I saw that, I see the data from 20 years ago that says how well this game did, kudos, nice job, pat you on the head, now give it to the other people, that give your files to them, this other place that we bought, and let them do their job. Like, you don't. And then Todd Howard's probably like, well, but my baby. And she's like, I don't give a damn. Yeah, yeah. Or she's like, how about your job? Like, yeah. Which is probably, I almost want to say it's probably a remake. Yeah. Okay, but what time frame do they get? So now let's really break this down though, because this is where she probably gets frustrated though. So if Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production or production now, what's your time frame now? If it's in production, so maybe it went into production this year. This year, right? We're thinking it went into live production this year. Maybe last year. Maybe. What's your time frame? 5 years. Okay, so you're 2030. Okay, so 2029. And then the team that's making Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be the team that then makes Fallout 5, correct? Okay, cool. So when would Fallout 5 go into production? Into production in 32. Yeah. So you would argue the two major tentpole franchises from Bethesda, major tentpole franchises, are 5 years out. And hopefully being band-aided by Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And I would say at this point in time, Obsidian is going to make a smaller Fallout game. They have to. And that would try to sandwich in there, right? I mean, they don't have to, but can they produce it quickly enough to get it out in 28, 27? Not 27. Yeah. But can they do an Outer Worlds, right, but can they do an Outer World size game in Fallout? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, but that's still 29. That's still 2029. Yeah. Yep. Yep. If they can get a France if they can get a Fallout title out every year, 27, 28, 29, 30, and then or I'm sorry, like 20 like 27ish, 28, 29, maybe 30, and then or I'm sorry, 30 being Elder Scrolls, and then a year off, and then Fallout 5. Cuz then you have to do a year of announcing and trailers and what it's going to be and teases and community building, because like you have to believe that there's going to be a ton of elements from 76 into 5. Like it's going to be like in terms of it's going to be a little bit of a service style. I don't think it's going to have seasons. I don't but it's going to have content updates like every 3, like it just feels like that's the direction that they're going to, because they've kind of done it with the space one. It's totally blanking on the name. Starfield. They've kind of done it with, like it might be another vault that opens or another area of the world that opens. Like I don't think it's, yeah. But I do you think that they could, like, Fallout 5 can be, here's the box and this is everything you get and we're walking away from it? Yeah. 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 Right. You squeeze 30, 31, you squeeze Elder Scrolls in there, and then 32, 33, you get Fallout 5. Yeah. We're we're potentially getting far enough away that they could immediately go from, New Vegas to 4. Like Obsidian could go to 4, like, and at that point in time you'd be talking about 4 almost 20 years, like since it's been out. Yeah. 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 But it's the show is doing better than the games are doing, and the show brought back to life some of the games. Like 4 was fine. It was kind of like, my understanding, it was, you had a great time playing the thing, but it was kind of broken. And then it took some time and it did some things and they did some expansions, and it turned out to be fine for a Fallout game. But now, like I'd have to go look it up, but it had to have come out in what, 2015, 2016. Yeah. So like you're gonna talk about a 15-year gap. Like this is what we talked about before. Somebody that was 16 years old playing Fallout 4 for the first time. Oh, Fallout 5's out. They're 32. They're 30. Like that's a different person. Like they could have a wife, they could have kids. Like there's a lot of things that change. And then is the TV show going to continue multiple seasons leading up to this Fallout 5 coming out? I think it might, just based on the success. And then is that going to be enough for somebody to be like, hey, you know what? I really like the last 4 seasons of that show. I'm going to pick this game up. Like, that's the part of like, and you're going to get a new audience. Like, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Do you think that these games, as we're talking about, the remakes are a completely different conversation, but as we're talking about Elder Scrolls 6 and we're talking about Fallout 5, are we talking about these games functioning on the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5, or are these going to be strictly next gen games, do you believe? Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, like I said, those are different. Like that's different, but in terms of like, do you think that like the production team is working on, a potential Helix dev kit right now? Like they're building the game on the Helix dev kit, yeah, or potentially a PS6 dev kit. So yeah, but even then, this would be like that massive brick that sits on a banquet table. Like this is not this might be 7 chips connected together. Of like, oh, this is what the chip's going to eventually be able to do. Yeah, I know. No, they're just gonna take 2 PS4s and duct tape them together, and that's a PS6 dev kit by math. I know. It's like, it- just in the video game world, 2 consoles with the number 4 next to them equals 6, so we're fine. Yeah, so like, yeah, yeah. Pretend like you're working on the PS5, but on a scale of 1 to 10, go to a 12. It's like, yeah, yeah. Well, sure. Asha came out publicly and said that she's like, I already know the consumers aren't going to pay that. Like she's come out and said it. So like, what is she? What are they going to do? Because she's like, She goes, I'm looking at what we've done the last. She kind of ran Spencer under the bus very respectfully, but she kind of said like, I said kind of respectfully. She's like, based on what we've shown for the last 5 or 6 years, like she's like, I wouldn't spend $1,000 on a box from us. So, like it's right. Yeah. No. Yep. Yep. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, which I think we kind of already had that before they got acquired. For the most part. Yeah. But I agree. I really think that potentially letting them under the Xbox umbrella still speak freely. Like I thought it was very nice or very cool that it was coming from Bethesda directly, not coming from Microsoft. So hopefully we hear it from Call of Duty directly or whatever. Does Activision even exist? Yeah, and or like I'm yeah, like I'm kind of waiting for like Blizzard to kind of like be Blizzard again and kind of like do what Blizzard does. Um, so like that part, because going all the way back and listening to some of those Dracian Shire books and stuff like that like, years ago, like let Blizzard be Blizzard, and I feel like that they're they haven't been able to do that, but give them their their BlizzCon, give the Fallout people their Fallout Day. I know. I know, but I meant let Blizzard be Blizzard from the gaming standpoint, not from the other, of like going on stage and be like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." Yeah. So similarly to, I wish that Sony would kind of like, they're just the reverse of it is everybody's fussing at Xbox for talking, and I think you have it on here, but like Sony's just dead quiet now. They're just like, keep going, keep talking. Like we're just gonna sit over here in the corner. Yeah. Well, and I'm just gonna transition to your next story though. But I was disappointed in their choice of like, I think I opened Facebook or Twitter at like 9 o'clock, like on a Sunday night, and it was like, oh, God of War Laufey release date. I'm like, excuse me, it just came out of nowhere. I'm like, no way. Like, it's just a tease to a state of play, and they're like, nope, here's the date, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I jumped way far. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, and this concerns me too because now we're starting to like, I feel like they're kind of pulling on Santa Monica in four different directions, like they were pulling on Naughty Dog in four different directions, because now you got a team working on Laufey, you have a team working on this Kratos led game, right? And then you have a team working on the God of War 3 remaster. Yeah, and yeah, so like so now you're pulling on multiple directions, and it's like, okay, like you you can't spread this talent across these three games. Like, yeah, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, unless Ben's gonna be leading the charge on 1, 2, and 3 together, like, so. I didn't realize I skipped a whole point. I'm sorry. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Because you have to automatically assume, you have to almost automatically assume that Insomniac. I mean, I don't even remember what the leak said, but Insomniac's going to work on either additional content for Wolverine or Wolverine 2. Like that almost has to be like just in the cards automatically, right? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. So it's just getting, and then we like house. Yeah. Yeah. And then ultimately, I mean, I'm not going to make this whole thing about it, but how soon till we hear about what Sucker Punch is doing next? Yeah. I agree. So like then they become their logo goes onto the launch event for PS6. Like it would almost have to. Yeah. Second Son. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, they'll probably figure out some crazy way to put a damn 360 disc in their plate in their PC and it work. It's like it's, yeah. 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 And Xbox always had it in their back pocket. Well, and I think, and again, this is pure speculation on my part, but this is probably Asha or her team in a meeting going, instantaneous, easy revenue. How? Like, how? And somebody's like, well, we could try this. And she's like, how much is that going to cost? He goes, this much. How much could that make us? That much. Okay, let's try it. Like, yeah. I mean, like, let's be real, because none of these games really mean anything to me. I wasn't playing Xbox during this time. Um, if you had a fully functional working PC that you were happy with, a good gaming rig that you were happy with, would you buy any of these? Yep. Yeah. And if they're going to be on Game Pass, I'll mess with them. Like so, but it's just kind of one of those things again where like this is just like a little sprinkle of their program, like of this. I've been hearing a bunch of rumors this week, like little like this last week or so. Just think I haven't been paying too much attention to social media, but like they really think that Helix or whatever this next Xbox is gonna have a freaking disk drive because of the position that Sony just took. And the way that Sony took their position, they really can't backpedal from it. They'd look even worse if they backpedal from it. They should backpedal from it, but they would look awful if they backpedal from it. They would look Xbox. Yeah, but they would look worse than Xbox backpedaling from DRM 10 years ago or whatever. And so now Microsoft's like, okay, you have fun sliding down that hill. We're going to put our tent in the ground and we're going to put a disk drive on our system. Now, they might not release that much physical media for themselves, but it's still an option. Oops, we put the 360 emulator in the Helix. Go ahead and put your discs in there again. Right. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Right. Yep. I know. Yeah. Or I'm really curious about the attach rate that they're seeing. Like people are making fun of the Xbox ROG Ally, but I see a lot of them. Like especially in like I hear conversations about them. I see people talking about them, learning of them. Like I've had my ROG for a while. I don't use it justification enough for what I have it for, but when I do have it, I like it. Um, and a lot of people are like kind of like, hey, this isn't bad. Like I can spend $700 or $800 on this. I can play almost all of Xbox's games. I can plug it into my TV. It's a really cool piece of tech. I understand you can do that with the Steam Deck. I know you can do it with a Switch. But the fact that it does have that Xbox name on it is helping. And now they're like, okay, like I'd be curious if they're seeing some revenue growth either on the ROG end or the PC end in general, with more people hitting the Microsoft store with little things like this backwards compatibility. Because they're essentially like, they figured out a way to be like, hey, look what we did. You still gotta buy it, because if you own this game on 360, like, oh, it's backwards compatible. Like, yeah, you can play it on your console if you have it and put the disc in there like you used to. But if you want to play it on PC, you got to buy it. But it's backwards compatible, but you got to buy it. So they've actually learned how to or not learned, but they've gotten really lucky with their messaging on it, because people are really positive about this. All they do is re-release some games for money. Yeah. I don't even know how much they cost, but at the same time, like $10, $15, $20, I don't know. Yeah. So somebody easily drops $50 on 4 games they really enjoyed. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I can buy access to an emulator for $40. Sign me up. Like, yep. No. Yeah. Nope. I've seen some sales on them. I've seen some promotions on them. They don't have, like, my old one doesn't have as much. I thought my old one had some decent value that I'm like, oh, I can get like 40% of it and put it towards an Xbox Ally. No, like it was like more like 15% of the value. Like I was like, ew. Like when I was looking to trade it in, I was like, oof. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, the heavy duty the black Xbox ROG Ally is like a $950 to $1,100 now, I think. So Yeah. I've seen some sales on it. I could potentially see this thing going down to 750 maybe during the holiday, Black Friday kind of thing, maybe. But yeah. 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 I saw something about it. I feel like I opened the app on my phone and I saw people online. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not affecting me. Now that might have been just like the app was working or like I don't know. I heard a little bit of rumblings about it. I wasn't playing anything on the network at the time. So I wasn't affected by it. I think we might have been coming, just got back from Chicago. We might have been no, we weren't in Chicago. No. Okay. Yeah, or on our way to Chicago. Yeah, because we went on a Sunday. Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't really affected by it. I saw the rumblings on social media about it, and I was just like, okay, like it just seems like kind of one of those things. Network's down for a little bit, whatever. It happens. I've woken up before my cell phone hasn't worked for a couple hours. Like whatever. It's not great, but I mean it's just kind of like whatever. But yeah, I mean it's just kind of one of those things where like you get to the point where Sony's like, well, we can't freaking win right now, like your own fault. So it's just weird, and the way that they went about and the way that they have been going about talking or announcing things for like the last 6 months to 9 months or whatever is just it's all the way back to Jim Ryan leaving. Like it's just all that stuff has been just really interesting and really odd how they're doing things. And I think that they're still lacking a face. I don't love Asha Sharma as the president of Xbox or whatever, but she's out there. She's doing, sure, it's Bloomberg or whoever she's talking to, or CNBC and stuff like that, but she's out there. I haven't seen Herman Holst. I see him copy and paste stuff and release it. I haven't seen him say anything. Yeah. So like they don't have like I've said this for a while now. Like PlayStation doesn't have a face, and that kind of sucks for them. Xbox had a face in Spencer, and and I feel like at least for right now, like Asha's like, this is my thing, my ship to turn. So I'm gonna be front and center. I don't think she's gonna be front and center in 18 months. I think that she's gonna kind of like you'll see her a little bit, but she's gonna have somebody that's gonna be more whimsical than her. you know, but it's just weird right now. Agreed. Yeah. Right. But the reverse of it is you got inconsistent communication, potentially inconsistent communication, where you got no communication. Fireside chats, yeah. Yeah. Oh, awesome dude. Yeah. Yeah. Andrew House is more entertaining than he is. Yeah. I feel like something expired for him. Like some timetable went away. Yeah. Shoe, yeah. Yeah. Schumann, yeah. Blog posts. Yeah. PlayStation team or blooper team or Santa Monica team. Yeah. Yeah. And he's really the only one that I recognize that you sometimes see during a state of play. Like you see him for like 45 seconds or whatever. Um, this doesn't have to be like, let's be clear, like this does not have to be some gaming person like you or some gaming name or some Twitch streamer or some YouTube content creator. Like you could find some 30-year old, 26-year old, 35-year old that has some charisma and some pizzazz and some style that nobody's ever heard of, and he could be like, hey, my name is Jim and I'm the host of PlayStation, and just do something like yeah. But it's just weird. Like, yeah, yeah. It's like, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Complacency came in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I feel like GTA comes out and you have a reprieve till like post Super Bowl Valentine's Day, and then you hit the ground running, and that's kind of right around when Laufey comes out. As is actually like very close to when Laufey comes out, like 2 days after the Super Bowl. So like they might be putting themselves in position of like, okay, like we're gonna ride the GTA wave for 90 to 120 days, and then we're gonna stand on our surfboard and we're gonna go, and maybe it starts with Laufey. Like I hope, like yeah. Wolverine might get him like kind of like standing on the board a little bit, rocking a little bit, but yeah, yeah. Oh, it's probably going to be the next thing though, because they're not going to send out early copies. Like they like at this point in time, if they had a plan to do it, like they're or it's going to go to very select few like trusted people that they know will keep their mouth shut until the embargo. Right. Yeah. It's gonna suck too because you're gonna. I bet you're gonna hear some stuff about. Oh, I've gotten all the other PlayStation games and I don't get this one because I was critical of their physical disposition. Like I could, yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what the two games would have been that sold over 10K. Yeah, like Madden, college football, either one of the. Or that's both. Because Call of Duty's not out yet. Yeah, college football's out. Yeah, yeah. Right. 100,001 or 121,000. Yeah. Nothing came out. Yeah. Yeah. I totally missed that it came on PC period this year. Now that's what I wanted. I'm like, oh, oops. Yeah. Yeah, but the variable also portrays how many, based on their data, based on what's going on, like how many of these games were printed, how many copies of printed games were there. Like, yeah, right. Cool. You sold 105,000. You printed 106,000. Thanks. Like, or like me, somebody like you, like let's say like you wanted to buy Bond and you waited 2 weeks and you're like, oh, you're hearing good things. Okay, I want to go buy Bond. I want to go buy a physical. You go to Amazon, they don't have it. Okay, oh, they're sold out. Oh, that sucks. You go to Target, they don't have it. You go to Best Buy, they don't have it. You go to you go to like mom and pop game shop, they don't have it. Fuck it, I'll just buy it digital. Like you tried to buy it physical. Like I'm not saying that. I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying this is what happened, but like oh, we only printed so many copies of it, or like the if PlayStation as a company is coming to this decision, right, wrong, or indifferent, if their data is telling them that this is a decision they need to make, I'm sorry, but the retailers were telling them this 2 years ago when they were getting less and less and less, and we've seen the gaming section shrink smaller and smaller and smaller, or not shrink, but the game section shrink smaller and smaller and smaller. The accessory section get bigger and bigger and bigger. The toy section get bigger and bigger and bigger. The collectible section get bigger and bigger, and then there's like a shelf of games. Like we've seen that trend for a long time. People don't like to hear it, but everybody's like, "Oh, they took this away from us." Like, "Oh, they took." Like people were sending pictures out about like what the gaming aisles used to look like at the grocery stores or whatever, and I'm like, "No, they didn't take it away from you. When's the last time you went down that aisle?" Like, because if you're not going there, like because you're like, "I'm not buying those games. Like, I'm buying them digitally, or I'm only buy," like you are the root cause of this problem. It's like, oh, like you can't put your stake in the ground and say like, oh, look at what they're doing and they're making poor choices. It's the last physical game you bought. Me? I don't know when the last physical game I bought, to be honest with you. I looked over here earlier to my right, or my right over here. I think I have like 5 PlayStation 4 cases, and I can tell you one thing for sure. I ain't got no PlayStation 5 cases because my PlayStation doesn't have a disc drive. And you've got tons of them. And so you and I are the polar opposite, but we offset each other. Like you and I cancel each other out. Yeah. Yeah. Right. But you're right. You were willing to wait. I'm not. Like Yep. 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 Because we're missing Darksider, Saints Row. Like we're missing those games. Like those are that there's just this massive hole in the industry that we're not getting. Of, hey, is that game worth $60? Yeah, kinda. I enjoyed my 2 weeks with it. I'm good. I had fun. Yeah. Yep. Nope. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but you'd be playing Overwatch with your friends, and they would be like, "Hey, is that? I see this Ghostbuster game's on sale." One of your guys in your crew would be like, "Hey, man, I had a great 2 weeks with that game. It's for sure worth $35." Like you go, like and those games are gone. Like they're just gone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Gold, platinum. Yeah. Yeah. There is a physical version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. and I'm hearing great things about it. Like I'm hearing great things about it. Uh, yeah, I mean, I can pick up. I just googled it really quick, and then I clicked on shopping, and I clicked on it for Best Buy. I can go pick it up at a Best Buy tomorrow. So 60 bucks actually too. 59.99. I mean, and the price of games right now, like okay. I can. Oh, fun fact: I cannot get an Xbox game. It'll be ready on August 5th from the same Best Buy. Yeah. So. Yep. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Fun fact. Still kind of putzing around while you're talking here. There is a deluxe edition of Black Flag Resynced. GameStop has it. Yeah, can't resync deluxe edition. Yeah. So. Yeah. 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 I I have a GameStop in my complex where my store is. I still haven't stepped foot in there. Like, sure. All right. I think that is it for this week. A little shorter than normal, not too much shorter, but a little shorter than normal. I will be out of town next week. A couple people asked me. I had a great time in Chicago. Michael stood me up. He just said he didn't have time for me. No, he was busy actually. We were in and out of Chicago like super super quick. We drove down on a Sunday. We did Shed Aquarium on Sunday. We did a little bit of walking around on Monday. We had the ball game Monday night. We did Navy Pier, overrated. Um, yeah, it's still kind of cool. We did the Field Museum Pokemon exhibit. That was kind of cool. Is even somebody that's not a Pokemon guy. I did get the cards that Michael's talking about. I did buy a couple of the plushies, the Pokemon or the Pikachu excavator stuffy or whatever one. We got a couple other things like because we made sure that he got like something like Pokemon shirt that said Field Museum on it, not just a regular Pokemon shirt. So, oh, I feel like when we went there, like I was like, wow, like so they were very specific about how you got the cards. The one card that they gave you, and then you couldn't go into the store until you went through the exhibit. So you got to pass from the exhibit to go in the store, and I feel like it said five item per person, and only like you can't buy duplicates. Yeah, the only thing you could buy duplicates of is you could buy. We had 3 tickets, so we could have bought three Pikachu excavators. We only bought two. They were like $40 a rip. um, yeah, so we bought two, and we bought a couple things that just. He's a Pokemon fan, but he's not a huge Pokemon fan. His reading level is my son's reading level is significantly higher now. So like, there's probably gonna. I was gonna talk to you about like what's a good Pokemon game to really start him on the Switch. I don't want any of the phone Pokemon games, but I want to get him. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because like for a long time he would come to us and be like, I don't understand, I can't read this, I don't know what this means, and now he's actually like going into 5th grade, and he's competent and understanding of game mechanics and everything like that. So, um, and then Angela and I have last Tuesday, the 28th of July, we celebrated 25 years of being married. Angela had to have another surgery a little bit right before that. Part of the reason why the podcast is about a week late. She's fine. She's doing as good as she can be doing. Trying to continue to keep doing things that as normal as we can. Everybody's been super supportive and reaching out and everything like that. Most of you guys listening are great. I did meet up with somebody else in Chicago when Michael stiffed me, a friend of mine that lives in Chicago now, and he lives in Chicago now, and he worked with me at one point in time. So we had lunch together. That was cool. And then we're going to San Francisco next week. So I've been to San Francisco multiple times. I love the city. Angela's coming to San Francisco for her first time, so she's gonna get the BART experience because it's just so much cheaper. So, and I'm not worried about it. The subway in Chicago, not bad, by the way, not a problem. Yeah, so yeah, on and off the red line. That's all we were doing. um, Wrigley Field was cool, but we're going to another Tigers game in San Francisco. We're going to Alcatraz. We're doing some whale stuff. So we're definitely trying to make the most we can out of this summer. Like a couple, 3 or 4 days of kid free for Angela and myself. And then we kind of come back, and he goes back to school. She goes back to work teaching. And then that's just kind of where we are. So again, I really appreciate. A lot of you are friends with me on social media. You'll see my wife will put out every couple weeks update. I think Michael's partner pays more attention to it than Michael does. I know. I'm just playing. I'm just messing with you mostly to see your reaction, because the Ansel and Sarah will conversate about once every 4 to 6 weeks. So, yeah, yeah. I'm just more just busting your chops right now. So yeah, but that's kind of where we are right now. Life is as good as it can be at the moment. I'm really hoping that something comes out that really holds my attention. I played Bond for a little while, haven't got any farther in it, haven't had the desire to go back and play it. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not grabbing my attention. Um, and I play a little, yeah, I play Destiny like 2 hours a week, maybe total. And that's usually because a couple buddies of mine will poke at me like, "Hey, come do this with us." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Um, I did it like an hour before we recorded here today. It's just, I was doing inventory at my store. Like that was that like 2 weeks of my life. So a bunch of other crap going on. So, but that's it. So, I hope everyone has a great week. We will not be recording next week, and we will record the week after that. So it'll probably be mid-August. And we're getting right around the corner. Like Michael's like laughing serious. Like we're like a month away, like 6 weeks away from Wolverine, right? September 8th or 18th or something. All right. Hope everyone has a great week. Keep moving forward. Hello.